Hello and welcome. This is your GM in the Great Barrier, broadcasting from the center of your entertainment galaxy, and we are back with Star Trek Adventures Aegis and the Marauders of the Distant Moon, Part 5. Before we start the session, I just have one small event to mention here. Actually, 2 points. First off, anybody who is following the streams, I'm going to say ahead of time, the videos may come a bit slower for you in the archive coming up, as the live streams themselves, we're going to have a bit of an intermittent schedule. We will, for example, be off the next weekend, the 2nd of September, when we're recording this. So, for those of you watching now, if you notice that things come out a little slower, rest assured, we are still going. We are just going to be taking small breaks throughout the week, or throughout the next coming month or so. So we'll keep you posted on that. The other thing would just be a reminder that if you are also a fan of the Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword game, or if you want to get into that one as well, that is our Klingon-centric game. We are running our end of season 1 Q&A session this coming Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'd love for you to join us and uh, you know place your questions here on our community Discord. Send them to me on Mastodon. Um, Join us on the live stream then, if that's doable. Whichever works. Links for all of that are going to be in the description. So once again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Wednesday. So just let us know. Anyway, let's get into it, guys. Uh, when last we left off, the away team from the Aegis had made it into uh, the very depths of this ancient Calamese city, essentially uh, under disguise as the soldiers, or in Saral's case, as one of the Vulcans who's supposed to be here. You had managed to infiltrate a cavern, excavation site that led to the place of record, the sort of the most sacred site of the Calamese, a place that was supposedly left behind as a message from off-worlders who had visited many thousands of years prior, and which apparently contains a piece of an ancient star map, and even more interestingly, a map of subspace. Two of the parts you already have at present. So at present you had managed to get past those guards and get past the guards that were up there, convince them to let you down into the place of record, and that is where you had found yourselves when, uh, as you were recording the information here, trying to put together uh, a model of the map that you could use later. It seems that General Kragan, the despot of the Calamese people, who is backed by the Vulcans and holds the populace under an iron grip, he has come for an inspection with the Vulcans that have come down from the other ship that they had in system, and when you attempted to basically bluff them into suggesting that there was a space pirate here that might wreck their precious place of record. That is when Calamese soldiers came down, escorting a Vulcan captain, one who is convinced that he is dealing with Starfleet officers. And so that is where we are going to pick up. Um, in the place of record, where at present, the 8 of you are kind of scattered to different locations. One that can be said for sure, Tenkayet Fen, presently unconscious in a box. Saral has done his very best to stay out of sight, and I would guess hiding behind some sort of rock formation or pillar, anything that's available to him. Would that be accurate there, Saral?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Um, and the captain, at the very least, has taken cover in a position where she can still have sight on the people that are coming down, whilst also being able to mostly cover herself from any incoming weapons fire.
Yep. Face shield down, though the face shield is painted with a skeletal face of red paint.
Gotcha. Um, as to the remaining people here, let's go on down the line. Um, Starting with you, Ben. How would Dr. Lambeth be arraying himself here? Is he trying to take cover? Is he just attempting to hide? What would you say his move is here?
I think he's probably taking cover in the back lines. Like, he's not really a combatant, but he'll try to cover people if he needs to, I guess. And he's probably he's got the dead man switch set up.
That's right, because if memory serves,
So
the captain had rigged up the surplus particle weapons that you had to potentially go off, and I think you had keyed a tricorder to that and handed it off to the doctor.
Well, no, I had the doctor help me in designing it.
Right.
Yeah.
I have the tricorder myself.
Yeah. So I'm mostly I guess he's mostly thinking about that. But yeah, probably just taking cover mostly. Okay. Waiting for orders, waiting to see if anyone goes down.
Okay. And then Brian, your Second Lieutenant Mora, what would you be having her do right now?
Based on the captain's positioning, I'll kind of read that through my Mako training, pick up a position that's got cover, that I've got a wide angle of fire, so if I need to lay down some fire, I can do it.
Basically developing a crossfire. Would that be a good read?
Yep.
Okay.
Develop a crossfire, find a good position.
Yeah. As for the rest, I will say that Patel has followed kind of with the doctor's line of thinking and has taken a position further back. He could still conceivably fire off a phase pistol. He's at a position where if you think of the captain and Mora in more forward positions, a sort of first echelon, the doctor and Patel are both kind of in the second. Natala will join him back there. Sloan, on the other hand, will take more of a flanking position in what would be a first echelon, readying a particle weapon of her own. But obviously from cover. So, this is how you are situated as the very crude elevator that they've worked out. Little more than a metallic platform with chains attached to different ends being lowered down by a very primitive pulley system, albeit something motorized. And slowly descending are the 4 Calamese troopers and a Vulcan captain, who, when last we'd left off, he had been exchanging some words with you, Colonel.
Yep.
Oh. Let's see. One of the Calamese will actually be in radio contact and a little ways above the floor, such where they could comfortably jump down, but it's still a little bit elevated.
They were told to remain on the platform for the moment.
Yes. The platform, they do indeed stay on the platform, but it has lowered sufficiently to where if it came to it, they could jump down without too much injury or with minimal risk of that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Zelmar, the commander whom you have not actually had the chance to meet yet, that was more in the purview of your the other crew. The Vulcan commander is going to raise both of his hands, displaying that he has no weapons in either of them. Well, do we have the opportunity to speak now?
No one's stopping you.
Oh, very well. Then I will tell you things that I have surmised and the logic underlying those conclusions. First point, you are more than likely Starfleet officers, given that you are at least from what I have guessed, there's likely humans among you, and in particular there was a human vessel very insistent on remaining in orbit. We were able to persuade them otherwise, of course. But it is unlikely that the lieutenant commander that I spotted on their bridge would have been in a command position of a vessel quite like that. It may be a smaller second-line vessel, as I believe you consider your Daedalus class ships to be, but it is nonetheless a long-range exploratory vessel, and the Starfleet is still of a fairly small size.
You'd be surprised of the manpower shortages Starfleet's dealing right now. She kind of gives a shrug.
Indeed. I did not say necessarily that all of those officers are of morally upstanding character, which does lead me to my second point. You have, either by captivity, by hiring one of less scrupulous nature, or even potentially willing cooperation of a rogue element, a Vulcan crew member among you.
We'll leave it to a Vulcan to suggest that associating with humans is somehow less scrupulous.
I would indeed consider it so when one is trying to impersonate a member of the High Command, a very rare instance, and one that would carry a fairly high offense within Vulcan society. The third summation, well, rather deals more with the query. The purpose of your being here. Information on this planet is not terribly well disseminated. Your presence here seems unlikely to have been a chance circumstance, although your vessel did claim to be on a survey mission. Logic could stand that you discovered everything here inadvertently, and perhaps you are attempting to affect some sort of greater geopolitical outcome, or to impact this society. Either that, or you have come to this particular chamber for some very specific reason. In either case, there are still some logical gaps, and thus I would like to ask, why are you here?
She just pauses for a beat, the visor sort of obscuring her expression. She will tap with the tricorder, using her forefinger as her thumb is currently still on the dead man switch. But just type a bit, probably poor wordedly to Patel's tricorder of make sure they're not scanning this ruins right now and block it if need be, but probably with a lot of misspells in there. As she says, I feel that it is perhaps more of a gesture in similar cultural standards that perhaps I can make my own observations, if you don't mind, Commander.
Such is your prerogative.
I find it interesting that my own visit here, escaping from Starfleet, that I find that the Vulcan military specifics would violate their own cultural standards to help out a totalitarian government for their own benefit, as certainly from the observations of the number of technologies and weapons that clearly violate, again, said principles that they have given to everyone else. That for some reason they are in pursuit of something perhaps more valuable to override such moral quandaries. And certainly after some closer inspections and similar discussions with other people in the Calamese, and the certain desire that they seem to imply with your people's, your government's pursuit in these ruins, that perhaps my own and the lovely guests that I have decided to tag along with me, she gestures with her pistol in the direction of the rest of her crew, which, by the way, I am sure Starfleet loves to hear about these things and are interested too, that perhaps we too would like to see what exactly you would go so far as to be almost equal to Andorians. Or so you claim, anyways. It's a special cold logic, Commander, to, in essence, give an entire world to their own evil natures.
Just to play into this for the social combatant aspect here.
I'm being asked. I'm stabbing at his freaking stabbing at his supposed, holier than thou Vulcan values and his own gesture of trying to surmise of like, oh yeah, you're Starfleet. It's kind of like, freaking, I'm a pirate. I just came here, and you guys, like, I'm curious. I, and it seems Starfleet apparently, would be more than curious on what the hell Vulcan is selling their soul for. Is where I'm going for, but in a lot more rude nature, I guess.
Okay. Yes. So then, let's see. First and foremost, just to attempt to set up the advantage of jamming these sensors, I am going to use Patel very quickly to attempt a control and science roll to try and modulate the tricorder in such a manner as to generate some sort of interference or try to...
Yeah, I've as a correction, I would send that message to the entire away team.
Okay.
Where anybody has tricorders.
Yep.
So, Sorol, if you'd like, feel free.
Yeah, happy to assist.
Yes. That will be a control plus science roll to assist. I would accept daring too if that is better or preferable.
No. Would computers or sensor operations apply as a focus?
I think that would apply.
Fantastic. So, who wants to take the lead? Patel?
Well, technically, Patel has already taken a leading role, so your assist would come in, or your role would come in as an assist. You do, however, get one additional assist in the process here because you are using your special particular tricorder. Let's see how they do. No luck from that.
Did Patel already roll?
Patel already did roll.
Doesn't show it for me. That's weird.
Oh. Well, he scored a single success. You create a second one there. So that combination does mean that you score adequate successes in order to create a fairly modest improvised jamming field. It will probably not be enough to guarantee that they can't scan everything, but it will make it more difficult for them. So as the scientists work in the background to try and provide you that slim tactical advantage, the Vulcan commander furrows his brow very slightly in response to your insinuations and outright accusations, Captain. A logic most certainly does apply. The defense of the Calamese is more crucial to this region of space than one might understand, especially from those who might use what could be in an extremely reckless manner. Thus, we continue to work with our Calamese partners. And He'll give a slight look to one of the Calamese soldiers, saying something just a little under his breath before he presses he pulls out a device that is on his belt, clearly not a weapon of any sort, and he will depress a button there.
What did he say, by the way? Could I have heard?
It was just a little distant. He was kind of giving it a low whisper. But as he pushes the button, Captain, if you would like to speak with more candor, I believe that if you are indeed a Starfleet officer, then you would be carrying a translation matrix of some sort. Something we would both be able to disengage. My own is presently jamming the local, well, not so much jamming as simply no longer properly translating to Calamese.
She will just not respond and just wait. But
I will note, I said captain completely out of, or that was not meant to be an official thing. He does not fully know your rank.
He's yeah.
He
Besides,
might.
she already inferred that she was Captain Darkstar, so
That's fair.
it doesn't matter.
Yep.
She'll just say, "Oh, was a nice gift from I've gotten from Starfleet." Not, I guess it's a more one-sided gesture. She says, and just clicks it off.
There is indeed a cold and necessary logic here at work, but not quite so malign as you would assign intention to it. While I would reserve judgment, full judgment for others, our presence here would not change the fact that Kragan had considerable military forces and imposes control over the Calamese people. If anything, it has been to their benefit, as at the very least, the technology supplied here ensures that said dominance happens in a less lethal manner. We act to preserve life in that sense. It is a small tangential benefit from a necessary exchange in order to maintain the security of this installation. And I would say
For
that if you
freedom.
were indeed a Starfleet officer, then you might bear some recognition of that. You might also stand to benefit in a sense, if genuine sharing of information is what you would like.
For freedom and democracy, she says under her breath.
Earth has made that trade many times.
And has made such poor decisions and has stained their hands many a times for it. I'm just surprised that Vulcans would be so gleeful in doing so themselves.
You assign emotion to a decision where there is none. This is simply necessity, Captain. And if this is indeed ingenuous, rather, if there is indeed truth to your criticism in so far as you object to Starfleet policy or to policy of those organized governments, if you are indeed who you say you are, then I would suspect Starfleet has no proper knowledge of what is going on, nor would they have any reason to believe that you are they would have no reason to believe anything that you are about to claim here. Thus it may stand to reason that you, and what I would presume would be entirely pirates in that situation, might be of greater interest to a Starfleet team delivered to their brig.
Certainly, though you do make a point. I am certainly curious about perhaps what you and these lovely individuals have given for this pursuit that you're looking for. I, of course, given my profession, am always attracted to the ideas of treasure maps. And it seems like you're missing out on a few pieces. as much as they are.
And what would you know of that?
Quite a bit more than you think I do. But you and I can both play that bit of hand. So, you wish to cooperate? I got a few minutes. Though if I see anything further, and certainly I would like, well, our little exchange and a little predicament certainly puts us at disadvantage. I wouldn't mind if perhaps some of them started to work their way out of here.
The presence of the Calamies is non-negotiable.
No, simply they step aside and let my, I suppose, away team start taking their leave safely. You would like to at least have something to look further into, right?
If the offer is an exchange of personnel, then I would prepare to work that in as the part of your terms. I will go so far as
Simply, I wish for my away team to be allowed to leave this little hole in the ground. I'm sure they can find their way home.
an arrangement might be made, but I require information first. With whom properly do I speak? A pirate or a Starfleet officer?
Eddie Teach. Starfleet.
Very well. In which case, the terms are as follows. You will lay all arms that you may be carrying on you in in visible view and fully powered down. You will arrange yourselves in appropriate rank detail, and you will be permitted in stages the ability to depart the cavern under escort. We will return you to our vessel, and from there return you to your ship. In exchange, we will require a few items. First, an exchange of information. Any information you have with regarding this artifact or other related excavation sites. Any information with regard to scans of the Calamese structure. And we will require the Vulcan crew member that you have with you.
Quite the payment.
If you see these terms as less than amenable, Captain, I would say that you are not properly calibrated to the risk in this circumstance. My terms are considerably more favorable than what General Kragan would be willing to offer. He is a rash man, and one given to more cruelty than is necessary to accomplish a task.
And certainly there is still quite considerable value what you have here than, for instance, the lives of a few Starfleet. No, I don't think that sort of steep payment is really acceptable. Make it a little cheaper. I keep my little Vulcan friend, and certainly I am willing to discuss and compare notes where we can, so long as we get to our lovely vehicles. I will power down our weapons, so long as you can ensure that your own OA teams or Kragans don't, rather, your away teams ensure that our safety, and certainly do not use your own weapons against me and my away team. And certainly once we are at the very least clear of this little hole in the ground, we can begin our discussion. And I
Right.
won't blow it up.
Very well.
I'll even hand you the tricorder once we are at least halfway through the facility.
I understand this my original proposal does seem to put you at a considerable disadvantage. Therefore, I will as humans tend to say, meet you in the middle. We will allow you to leave this chamber with the proviso you've established with regard to the weapons, and we can continue further discussions aboard my ship. I will signal for them to join us, and we will continue conversation on discussion of terms from there.
Out of character, we are too deep for our transporters, right?
Yep, and the Aegis is well out of range. Not that you would know, although
Yeah.
based on what this Vulcan commander has told you, Aegis has, at the very least, the most generous interpretation is that they may have voluntarily left the star system, or at least moved to an edge while they consider their next moves. Alternatively, if what Selmar's saying were true, then it's a distinct possibility that more foul play is involved. Depending on how much or how little you trust the Vulcans right now.
As far as is logically possible.
I mean, there's no reason for him to try to do any of the deals, especially if he has us on his ship and everything.
Yeah. With my spare fingers, I type in the moment you're up, the moment we are above. Be sure to be ready to book it. And I'll just pause a long moment as if considering, and then incline my head. So long as you keep everyone safe, and you be as logically and certainly the capable and civilized people that you so claim to be.
This will be permissible. Please relieve your weapons before joining us on the platform, and I would ask all of...
Powered down, not handed over.
You do understand if you come up with those weapons that Kragan will very likely make my condition of keeping you safe very difficult. Furthermore,
That is, you have them on such a tight leash, I'm sure you can find a way.
then do you expect to board my vessel with weapons with those weapons presently holstered?
Well, certainly once we're at the very least in your shuttle, we'll hand them over. I'm just not trusting your puppet government here to be as... Let's just say I'm not sure your pet dog will not bite when you tell him not to.
Very well. A handoff will occur at the launch pad, under both sides' guard, but that is where I have considerable personnel in order to ensure that you do nothing untoward. Otherwise, the deal should be considered null and void.
She'll just nod. Acceptable.
Very well.
She'll just say, Mora, was it? She raised her voice.
Yes.
Since you've been a lovely Mako and haven't shot me, perhaps you and half the crew get ready yourselves on that little swing. If your guards wouldn't mind moving aside and let him up.
Two of them will dismount as he re-engages the translator and starts explaining the situation. You may proceed, Captain.
Got it.
Yeah, just we'll slowly move people up one at a time. But I'm keeping my my trigger very close, my thumb very much down on the tricorder waiting for everybody to go up.
Okay.
Because, like, it's a very tight fit, right, Zach?
It is a relatively tight fit, yes. So that would be.
Yeah.
You could fit. Like you were able to manage to fit everybody, including Tenkayet Fen, in his box on the platform. That kept you from putting up any of the guards. So the Vulcan commander, along with the two of the guards, would be able to take four of them. I guess Patel would volunteer first, his hands raised. And you were telling Mora to go up as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Lambeth, would you also make a move in the first batch? Or would you prefer to hang back?
I don't know. He probably should. Will probably hang back unless it gets told to go up.
Yeah.
Well, if it goes up, we're all dead.
Always.
So you go right ahead.
So he'll. Yeah. Okay. He'll go ahead then.
If Patel, Mora, and Lambeth take the box with them and just sit on top of the box,
Yeah. Is that our plan?
I mean, would that fit, Zach?
That would work, though the soldiers are going to question why, like, what you have in the box.
None of their business. Right, Commander?
We will scan the contents when it is up to ensure there is no threat.
She nods. Fair enough. She says in a humored tone.
Okay. So those three go up. Or let's see, there would yeah. So that would be enough to go up in the first batch. And then conceivably the rest of you could come up in the next one. So they will.
When we are up top, what's going on there?
I will give that to you with the with that first grouping, or once the first grouping goes up. But just for our purposes here, I'm going to say that the motorized lift will remain in place. The two guards will stay in position. Sorol, you obviously didn't elect to go up in this batch, but would you want to make any thoughts known to the captain, or is there anything that you'd be doing right now?
I have no idea what I want to do.
Fair enough. You're not in an enviable situation, to be sure.
We are not in any ways in an enviable situation, but we'll make it work.
I think what I'm going to do is with the time I have is I will step one, put every encryption I have on my gizmo. And also rig it so that I can just burn it out. If I want to, because this is well, not to overestimate, but this is my life's work, and I'm not giving this to some damn Vulcan. And the third thing, I guess, would be, I suppose we have something like what's isolinear chips, where we can just have like all the information we've gathered here, take that from the device and hide it.
There'd certainly, I think, be some sort of Vulcan equivalent of it. We're a couple centuries shy of the isolinear chip, but I'm sure there's some sort of data module which you could keep that in. I do have to note, however, something I just noticed rechecking the list, that we have had a couple redeems of Quatlus today. And thank you, Overland Gamer, for dropping in to do exactly that. And oh dear, he's actually specified on the complication. Let's see. Okay, so first and foremost, threat has been granted to me. But second, a complication has arisen where there appears to, as you attempt to exchange words, Sharp, the... Actually, wait. Let's run that back a little bit. Who had just... Had Sharp and Saral just exchanged any words, or that was just Saral's?
No, I was talking to Lambeth.
Okay. All right.
Or no, I was talking to Moron Patel. There you go.
Okay, okay. Then it won't come off as being noticed just yet. Yes. So the... Let's see. What happens here? Okay, sorry. Just had to regain the thread. Saral, as you were busy making the encryption effective, Sloane will walk over to you, staying relatively low so as to remain in cover. Captain, I'd really like to know what the hell you're thinking right now.
All right, you moved over to Sloan, or you moved over to
Sloane has
moved
moved over to Sharp. That's what's happened.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I ought to have clarified.
She'll just whisper to her, playing the cards that I have at the current moment, and certainly giving us at least a chance.
Well, those playing
Don't worry, I got something of a plan.
Those playing cards happen to include the pieces of the map which we don't have on us right now, and that once they find out are aboard the Aegis, if that battle we stumbled on was any indication, then there's likely to take them from the Aegis by force, as they are to abide by this deal.
Kara, I am very well of the table. Thank you. Have a little faith.
That's hard to come by right now, Captain. Natala, what do you think? Dr. Natala, as she's coming up, she looks at you a little strangely. She doesn't seem to fully comprehend. Natala, what do you... come on, back me up here. The Denobulan tries to reply, but the words come out completely unrecognizable.
So basically, Denobulan.
Yep.
If you don't speak Denobulan.
Sharp has some linguistic ear. Can I understand what she's trying to say? Like even a little bit, like
Insight and command difficulty 3.
Yeah, like she might not understand complete Denobulan, but probably a few words here and there. All right, not focus. Diplomacy, actually.
I don't think in this case, no.
1.
Your Denobulan is extremely broken and maybe would get you, help you locate a restroom that would properly accommodate your species, and
right.
maybe ask for a telephone, maybe, on a good day.
Yeah.
Why do you want to know where the library is in this situation, Captain?
In any case, you pick up more from tone than you do actual meaning of the words, particularly that there's something very slightly interrogative about what she is saying, but it's not enough necessarily for you to parse it out.
As a veteran, I have a feeling of what's going on with this, right? Probably happen once in a while.
You might.
She just kind of whispers to Kara, uh-oh. Bad time for the translators to start having glitches.
If they're just glitches. I don't suppose your Mr. Saral happens to be any good with linguistics, or at least, don't know, bothered to learn Earth speak.
Perhaps you can ask Saral or start working on it yourself about trying to fix the thing.
Give me your translator.
She'll just hand it over.
And she'll start trying to toy with it here. Saral, you probably...
Yes.
Refresh my memory. Obviously you have... I think when we had initially discussed the character, there was the notion that he might have some sort of linguistic ear, and indeed, I believe that is a focus on your part. Would that be accurate?
I do have a linguistic focus, yes.
Okay, so I would say that if you want to try and parse out anything here, I would say that you have a pretty easy time of picking stuff up. Would you say that your linguistics would comfortably accommodate English, maybe aside from the occasional incorrect wording?
Considering the amount of just primary languages in the area, I guess it's like every language enough to bring the point across. Um,
Fair enough. Well, I will say that
yeah,
you would probably at least notice that conversations are being spoken in both.
yeah. I
I
think
would
I
say
think
Earthing.
something like
Go
the
ahead.
Nobulan or Tellarite probably fairly well. Dorian less so. Same as with Earth language, if it's English. Um, yeah, it's probably broken, but usable.
Yeah, yeah. So that's uh, you were noting that there are distinct words being spoken in both Earth English and Earth English and Denobulan at this point.
Well, I guess then I would make my way over as well.
Uh, as you do, the some of the Calamies seeing you emerge are going to be a bit puzzled, but their hands will move to their sidearms, though they will not holster them, rather unholster them. They aren't taking them out. Uh, and you get a verbal challenge and in a language you have had but the briefest of exposure to, but not one you understand.
I choose to ignore it.
Hmm.
I say in Vulcanese, I'll just say, Commander, if you please.
Oh, the
And
commander.
gesture to the obviously gesturing to the translator being worked on by Kara.
I think that the commander went up with the last
Oh,
batch
did
there.
he?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, he isn't here? Okay, I thought he was.
Yeah.
Does that change anything? I don't know. Um, um, I just when I walk over, I just do like the universal gesture of calm down, like just bobbing my hand up and down, like to the Calamese guards, just like trying to ignore them mostly.
Hmm.
Like I expect to getting shot at some point, so
I mean,
I'm getting over my nerves here.
we could
I'm
always see
just
how that goes.
I'm just going to clear my throat very loudly and like wave the tricorder of like guys, really? And gesture to the devices around the place.
Oh, wait. You mean the phase pistols that you had hidden, or rather the particle weapons you had hidden and rigged up?
Oh no, that's true. I had hidden rig up. Never mind. I'm good.
Okay. Well, Sabral, I'll give you the chance to keep the tension diffuse with a the universal gesture for please calm down and don't shoot me. Let's call this a command and uh, presence in command. That will be the role.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's how Zoral dies.
Yep. Difficulty of
Ah,
2.
do you count the troubleshooting focus? No,
No,
that's a
but I'll
technology.
allow
No.
linguistics. Nonverbals count.
Okay, fair enough. Uh, oh wow, that should
Nice.
not have worked.
That is 3 successes on the board there, and thus that will assuage them and grant you a point of momentum. I'll let you draw that at your leisure, Colonel.
Yep.
And They calm themselves. They are helped by the fact that you did not expose the things you have rigged to blow all throughout the chamber.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably a good idea.
So you land next to, at this point, the Colonel, Sloane, and Natala, who is coming in a bit close and appears somewhat concerned. Um, she is saying, as best as you can tell, Saral, I think that she thinks that there is some sort of error with the translation matrix because she is no longer able to understand what Sloane and
Sure.
Sharp are saying properly. Her Earth English is she can understand some of it, but she doesn't she hasn't mastered speaking it properly.
Yeah, I guess while trying to fix the device, like I do the 3-4-way translation, which would be a comedy gold, but it's really hard to to do it.
Yep. So, just to ensure that the translators are fixed, the task imposed by the earlier complication requires that you conduct a difficulty 3 roll here. I'm going to call this control plus engineering. That's once again, thank you for the redeem there, Joe. That's our own Overland gamer from the Broken Sword game. Join us Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and be sure to save your Quatloos to spend on them for September 6th when Broken Sword's main campaign returns.
So he's choosing war, is it? Is that what's
Yes,
happening?
yes. Gain revenge and glory later.
I see. Difficulty 3. I tempted to take a momentum, spend momentum for an additional die.
Well,
Sure.
you have ample momentum at the moment. That is 2 successes. I'll also
It's not
have
enough.
Sloane assist because she is present
Would be
with you and she
great.
was working on the captains as well. So that would be control, engineering. It's actually not her best stats, but she will do it all the same.
Yes.
With a bit of fiddling, the translator comes back and she starts rapidly trying to cycle through those updates to everyone else. I think that they might have activated some sort of jamming field for our translators. This doesn't seem to have been a mechanical glitch.
Hmm. So how do you propose to get out of here, Captain?
I'm still working on it.
As you say that, the platform begins to lower again.
It's not the reassuring
certainly,
answer I was hoping for.
certainly, it's a lot better than. At the very least, we're just getting out of this room. Got some stuff. Just follow me when you can. Sorrel, how likely you to get how good are your fingers to certain pockets?
Are you asking me if I'm a good pickpocket?
She just tilts her head a slight, and in agreement.
What are the stats for pickpocketing? I don't think so. But
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's daring plus security, if anything.
no. I might have picked up some unsavory habits over the years, Captain, but that is not one of them.
I know
what are
you
you
have a
thinking?
wide repertoire of skills. Thought I'd ask. All right.
To what length? Why?
Well, we have a Vulcan with command access. But in any case, get on the lift.
The lift descends and has come down to a point where you can all properly board once more. And let me just make the people visible once more here. Let's see. Sorry, just sorting through this. The guards have returned. Commander Selmar has not.
I don't like this.
Get in line.
Are there signs of struggle on the platform?
Mm,
Fresh scorch marks, blood.
Only the hasty paint job that the captain has worked out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I can bluff my way into something here, but my mind just comes up blank.
Out of character. I'm thinking about Chaos hits the fan the minute we're up there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just like hitting the combined bullshit of all our advantages,
Yeah.
and
Look,
just
in all honesty, the captain was in a fucking corner. She's playing all the cards she has, but it is not much. And it was a thing of, okay, I need to get out of this room. This is a deal that is still incredibly in the Vulcan's favor, but it's at least it's a lot more sparing and allows us to have more options when we're up there.
Listen, if I had a great idea how to get out of this, I would have spoken up. But I'm struggling, same. But yeah, just kind of playing on Kragen's, because the Vulcan said Kragen is prone to overreacting. And as any despot, he's probably paranoid as hell. So if we trigger all the shit we have going on, hopefully a lot of chaos.
We can make a break for it. Yeah, that's what the cabinet's hoping for too, is that all the shit we worked on will, give us give her more cards on the table. But right now she's just playing what she has. And if it means trying to figure out a way to break out of a Vulcan ship, like that's down the road. But right now she's just working the hard as she can. So on the lift we go.
All right. The remaining 4 of you work your way up onto the lift, and it begins to lift you and the remaining guards back up through the tunnel.
Did there come any guards down with the second lift?
Only the 2 that had seemed to have previously been with Selmar.
What's their attitude? Like, are they primed for violence, or because they know whatever happened up there, or what's like the general idea is, I think.
I'd say the general body language is definitely tense at the very least. Like, these aren't...
But it's not necessarily violence.
Yeah, they're not like... They don't have their weapons out. They are at least adhering to their orders. I'd say, I don't know, anything beyond just saying that these people seem like they are a bit on edge and like they're trying to put forward their best intimidating face would be, that'd be about as far as I could say. If you are looking for anything, say, specific to their, I don't know, running some sort of task, then I would give you the option to run a roll here.
No, I don't have anything specific.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to say here, it seems that for whatever reason, as I was setting up the scene, some of my Vulcan tokens have disappeared. In particular, my normal security, my general sort of Vulcan soldier things. So I'm going to use a non-canonical image here, just going to warn everybody. I'm just pulling from the Star Trek Adventures set that is actually available on Roll20, and something that Modiphius offers. The disadvantage is it looks like they are in, like, Voyager or early DS9 uniforms. So just
actually that uniform is not of the time period.
Oh,
actually.
Oh
and
no.
we can't have that.
I've lost all clout.
And I mean, also, according to Vulcans, time travel is unlogical.
My immersion is completely broken.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. Immersion
really
broken. Thank you, Zach.
Oh
Gotta go.
Okay, tell you what. Compromise here. I'll just use my...
No guards.
My
no guards. Compromise.
If
I agree. No guards. You know this guy.
Zach, just affirm. Like, let's make compromise. I'm the GM. I do what I want. Here you go.
Okay. We'll call it the... we'll implement the broken NPC token contingency. That's what we'll do. So, just ask people to use...
No, that's fine. Use whatever you got, man. We appreciate that you run
you're
awesome game for us.
So let us ascend back up the platform. Now, just to double check, Panda, you had mentioned the idea of letting all hell break loose. Is that
Once we're all on top, yes.
Is that the Mako symbol you're giving the Mako gesture?
No. This is I'm spending two momentum and getting giving the GM 2 threat. So we activate all our advantages at once.
Everything we've set up. Good call.
Yeah, I was asking in terms of is this proper GM command?
Yeah. As soon as everybody's up there, and we are dutifully putting the box on the grav lift that we left behind. I want all hell break loose right then.
I gotta mute for a minute.
Copy that. All right.
There you go. 2 momentum.
All right. I will drop 2 threat. Oh, and yes, the author. I would consider it. Thankfully, we have a backup in this situation. But let me pull us up to the next scene. So, as the platform ascends, and you, the remaining 4 of you arrive, you see that you're in the midst of quite a larger presence, including a sub-colonel who is looking quite smug at the moment for being correct, it would seem. He's probably a little pissed at you. But you notice that there are easily double the soldiers that Kragan had brought up, all armed with particle weaponry of different sorts, and that General Kragan appears to have also joined you. You can discern who he is because, aside from the fact that if you look at his token, he has more of an orangish shade to his flesh compared to the Calamese stock tokens. I planned no commentary with that, by the way. That was apropos of nothing, just completely inadvertent.
I did not get that relation until you pointed it out.
I didn't get that relation, and I made the token.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I should put up the portrait at some point. It's like a mugshot.
I'm mostly concerned that some of the natives seem like twice the size of others.
That's more meant to insinuate distance.
Yes, I know. I just had the image in my head. There's just like some of them just giant, towering over the rest.
These guards are swole.
Oh no!
Yeah.
It's just the lift is just like 2 chains that are just pulled down by 2 guards.
Yep. Just 2 of the beefiest. They have, for any Full Metal Alchemist fans, they just have the equivalent of 2 Armstrongs that are like, they've removed the top parts of their armor, they flex, and then they start pulling everything sparkling around them because they have the power of friendship to help them.
We need to save these people. Those 2 in particular.
I mean, not those 2 in particular. The Calamese, like Kragan's regime, these soldiers might all be following orders, but they've all done some shit. You, as a matter of fact, do not need to hand it to anyone in Kragan's militia, or army, however you want to think about it. There are also 4 Vulcan soldiers that are in view, themselves particularly stiffened but at the ready, their hands close enough to their weapons, which, while not on the handles per se, could very quickly draw if needs be. But yes, as you do that, and as the GM drops 2 threat, the 4 of you that come up would take note, for one, that Patel, Lambeth, Mora, and the crate. The crate's been moved fairly near them. I'm going to say it is somewhere like I'm going to say that it was moved over here. Patel, Lambeth, and Mora have been lined up somewhere nearby with Vulcans keeping watch on them, but some of the Calamies also in a position to do so. You also notice that Kragan is having a very heated discussion right now with the Vulcan commander. I don't know what you are trying to pull with this indignity. You claim that they have a Vulcan with them and that it is not your own doing. I have an overwhelming mandate over the Calamese people, and you are here as my guests. I don't know what you think you can convince me of. Not one so clever and strong-willed as I. General, with due respect, we are cooperating fully, and we have apprehended those. Whatever circumstance has occurred here has been, I believe, done with relative ignorance to the proper rights of the Calamese people. Then you had better you had better give them over to my custody, or perhaps I will consider revision of this agreement here. Your Vulcan people may be allies in some circumstances, but I will not tolerate interference with my glorious regime, with my glory! And the soldiers all give the obligatory glory to Kragan!
As they're cheering like that, I'm just going to slowly sidestep closer to the commander. I just want to get in within arm's reach distance so I can quickly filch something if need be.
Towards the Vulcan commander or towards Patel?
The Vulcan commander.
Okay. He is standing right next to Kragan, thus the officer or the Calamies near him are like prepared to step in your way as you approach.
It's trouble in paradise?
Oh, you off-worlder, I don't know who you think you are, but you will not interfere with my glorious regime. And at that moment, a very familiar voice, as a matter of fact your own, comes off of a radio system. It is actually not only broadcasting off like a localized speaker, but on all of the wrist communicators of the Calamies, including the ones that your crew are wearing. If I had been a clever GM, if I'd been a very smart one, then I would have gone back and found the specific time index of the...
Yeah. But it more or less was, hey, I am Captain Edna Teach. I was here by the Vulcans to promote the gloriousness that is Kragan, but seeing how terrible and shitty confines that you're forced into, I'm not going to do that. And in fact, I'm going to give you what the Vulcans and Kragan can't give you, a path to something better, something to the stars, that the stars are open, free, and this will lead the way. This will help you lead the way or something like that. And freaking just, rock and roll, man.
Yep. So that audio plays out. Kragan's like, you dare! And as that happens, as it seems like he's about to burst, the crate behind some of the Calamese soldiers bursts forth, and from the box, great wings extend out, and a large yellowish avian creature sprouts. I can see through time, and before this I shall know the truth of it all.
The moment this happens, I'm taking a step forward and grabbing the tricorder, communicator or tricorder from the commander's belt.
Okay.
Because I know all hell's about to break fucking loose.
So a few things happen in this moment. For one, and these are going to be a few concurrent rolls. And this will affect yours in a moment here, Commander.
Captain.
Captain. Sorry. This will affect your roll as pertains to the commander, though.
Mhm.
First and foremost, the Calamies that are right nearby to where Fen were, that'd be the three of them, they are going to roll with a very high complication range because they are not used to these bird creatures. To give you a sense of how bad it is, they're rolling at a complication range of 4 to not start panic and pull out their weapons. So they've got like a control security roll, which will be high difficulty that they have to beat. The shock will also overtake Kragan here, and he's going to be put through a particular roll to see whether he really has the best brain that he thinks he does, or whether he's going to fall for something here. Actually, I'm going to set this to a roll of his own paranoia and see if yeah, let's put that to him. So he's got a high difficulty roll, and the resulting confusion will affect your roll here. So first, let me just get these off real quick. Okay, the Calamies. They complicate. Kragan will also complicate.
Nice.
Okay, Sharp, I'm going to first give you the roll, and then we are going to walk through the sequence of what happens here. While you
All
can
right.
do the roll first, I will tell you you may elect to not do it if you decide to here. Only like as the basically you can have the option of taking advantage of that success, or you can wait and select a different action instead. In which case, all of you will get an opportunity to act in like this case of surprise. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I will not take the action for a moment.
Yeah. But the role you have that I will allow you to take if you wish is daring plus security. If you still want to stick to
Yeah.
it, then
Now I'll wait a beat
okay.
as to assess, like in the microseconds that things are going on.
Yep. The Calamies
Okay, I'm
immediate-
back.
Okay, so all hell is breaking loose right now. There have been multiple complications by the Calamies in particular, in general, and Kragan in particular. So first, the Calamies, they are going to start pulling their weapons, aiming in every which direction. That's going to mean that the Vulcans nearest them are also going to pull their weapons. Kragan, seeing this sudden display and with the broadcast, locks onto the very particular thought. You had said, Sharp, you would come at the Vulcan's invitation. So
Mhm.
his anger, like he has a wagging finger in your direction, looking like he's about to just explode out of his helmet. Then he turns to Selmar with that same finger. But you! The Offworlders have betrayed us! Stop the Offworlders! Stop them now! To which
I will say also to add further context, I guess. There's traitors among your ranks. The Vulcans have betrayed you. Just so they start shooting each other too.
So all the Calamies, because of all these complications here, most of them are just caught in like utter indecision and like are being momentarily like snapped into they're being snapped into just all every which way. It will give Selmar the time to get to a wrist communicator and say, execute code Da Ni Kirish, which Saral, if you catch, you know roughly translates from Vulcan as Eye of Fire.
As he's about to say that, I'm just going to grab it, swat the communicator away.
Oh.
So halfway through that.
Okay. So while they might not have heard it, I'm going to say at this case you will have to execute a daring plus security roll in order to deal with that.
For sure.
And
I'm going to spend
that'll...
momentum on this.
Okay, you will roll against Selmar, who has no momentum to spend, but he will contest.
And so that's an extra die. Close quarters combat.
Yep, that applies. And you will have to beat one success from Selmar.
One success, so that's something.
Yep, you do match, and because you were taking initiative, that is enough. Nonetheless, the Vulcans are going to get the Vulcan team in general is going to get an opportunity to act here. There are 4 of them, so their squad will just start opening up on the Calamese, seeing them as the greater threat here. So they will roll for control plus security. Oh dear. And they scored a complication there, so that is going to be, let's see, that will be, well, that's 2 successes, so that's enough for them to succeed anyway. I'll tell you what, I don't have a complication in mind right now, so I will give you the option, which all of you can discuss. Would you prefer to take 2 momentum to reflect that I'm essentially ignoring that, or would you prefer to give the Vulcans a complication as they start trying to shoot down Calamese soldiers?
That's a good question. What do you guys want, guys?
What do you guys think?
Let's go with. I'd rather take the complication.
Okay. Would you...
We need more complications thrown in here. Throw in the mix.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'm going to open this up. First player that I will take a proposition from a player. I will take a proposition from chat if any of you want to pose a complication. As these Vulcans take a shot here, these Vulcans start shooting at the Calamese soldiers who would otherwise have you captive here. What complications do the Vulcans score? I'll give us just a few seconds to figure this out here. And by all means, players, talk amongst yourselves. Anybody that that wants to pitch an idea, then go right ahead.
What would be good? What do we need?
We need them to be more focused on the friggin' Calamese than us, and too bogged down by them. So I want to say that they are certainly firing at the Calamese, but their fire is drawing more Calamese to this area. There's more guards nearby.
Okay, basically aggro all the guards in the area specifically to the Vulcans.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, I will go ahead first roll the damage for the particle weapons that they have. So let's give that a try. Oop, that is not what I meant to do.
That is not the damage.
Nope. So the Vulcan squad, they are going to hit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Calamese outside of, wait, so that's 6, 10 of them who are not Kragan, basically. So each of them has a, let's see, they have a security discipline of 2, so 2 by 10 would be 20. For those wondering what's going on, I am using, since we have so many tokens on the map here, I'm borrowing from the squad tactic rules that come with Star Trek Adventures, or the Star Trek
the Red Alert? Are
Yes,
you using
it's-
Red Alert? Red
Yes,
Alert is
so-
awesome.
Red Alert, the Red Alert digester, it's a very small rule set that basically allows for you to, if you have like pieces or like character tokens that can physically be on a board, or like things like that. When you're dealing with mass numbers in ground combat, basically you evaluate the size of those units by the number of tokens that are on the board, or rather, the tokens represent a certain number of players on the board. Basically, when you have a large number, you can consolidate them into squads in order to simplify your roles, instead of having every single one have to roll for different things. It just expedites combat, basically. Here, a squad would equal basically the size of the health and attack. The health capability of a squad is basically equal to the number of tokens in a squad plus or times the security, that is to say. So the Calamies here, if I were to take all of them as a squad, that would be 10 of them, and they all have a security discipline of 2, so the total would be 20. As you do damage, you basically divide it out among the tokens and kind of wear that away. I might actually be doing this incorrectly, but I think I'm going to rule that's the 2 will just apply to, or rather, as they accrue damage, basically, I'll let the 2 go fully onto each token as it passes. So basically, with 8 points of damage, that would be enough to stun and bring down 4 of them. So the Calamies several Calamies will start falling as each Vulcan is able to take an adequate aimed shot, but they are going to be caught in an immediate melee with the remaining Calamies. The rest just immediately begin swarming the Vulcans. Otherwise, Kragan is just kind of looking puzzled and he's just barking orders like veins about to burst from his head. The rest of you are presently, some of you still on the platform, some of you otherwise like lined up. The Calamies' attention is off of you. The only one who is like in a slightly difficult situation would be the captain, who is presently grappling with the Vulcan commander. So, that being said, I'll ask, what do each of you do?
I'm going to shoot the leader. I am going to shoot the totalitarian mother. I can't say that. Right.
I mean, I haven't flagged the stream for that, but I'm not going to judge.
I'm just out of respect. The bleeping leader.
Fair enough. Go for the. I guess I should ask: is this going to be a lethal shot?
Oh, I ain't screwing around. This guy needs to die anyway.
Oh my
No, don't do it.
I don't know. What were the question? I was watching the commander. What were the Mako signals? Was this kill or clear
there were
no
Mako
signals.
Yeah,
there are no signals right now.
The captain's attention is a little too focused on the Vulcan here. So if you want to put him down, that's your prerogative. The GM does take a point of threat for that, just as a reminder. But I have no threat, so I will take it happily.
Okay. Then I'm gonna just try to drop him non-lethally. Then I've got my. Do I have my particle? Well, my particle rifle, does that have a non-lethal setting?
I'm pretty sure that we didn't spend escalation costs to bring particle rifles along.
Nope, we only brought pistols.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I didn't know if we had or hadn't. I've forgotten. So it's the phase pistol. So I'm going to go ahead.
You have the Vulcan rifle. I used all the phase unless it required the rifles too. I used all the phase pistols that we collected from the.
Do I have one of the Vulcan rifles, or do I have? That's a damage difference. For this guy of one.
I'll allow you to roll it as the basically the Type 3 or like the particle rifle.
Okay.
In that case, I had forgotten that there was one of those in your inventory.
Yep.
By the way, just one note while Mora is rolling that. The Red Alert supplement I added, first, it does come complimentary with the Operations Division book. So if you want both of those, you can grab them that way. Or you can just go to the Modiphius website and download it there because guess what? The Red Alert supplement last I checked was completely free. And yes, I'm going to take advantage, Panda, of stretching, checking my posture, and hydrating.
Okay, so I'm going to use control and security, and I'm going to try to drop this guy. I'd like to spend a momentum. Do we have one?
There is currently no momentum on the board.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Ignore that roll then. Sorry. Clicked the wrong thing. Here's the roll.
It is a good thing we are ignoring that roll.
Okay. And...
Okay, that is not enough to succeed. But yes, Kragan is just taken aback as a bolt of energy whizzes by him, and he looks aghast. I think that since he's had the shot come by, he's going to pull a weapon of his own. In this case, he has a ballistic pistol. He's not bothering with his own protocol, and he's actually going to take aim in your direction. Put to test the when you aim for the king, you best not miss principle.
Yes, well, I am with cover.
Yeah, I guess you would have a box to help you resist it because he's going to score.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot and dive behind the box as much as I can.
He's going to score 4 successes there, so that would be enough to hit. And I am putting 1 point of threat that I'm about to draw from that into making it a lethal blow, which is easier because he's firing a pistol. That being said, that is 4 points, and that should also have debilitating. Well, let's see. Debilitating is there. That should also have piercing 1 and intense. So go ahead and let's see. You're behind a crate. Roll me 2 challenge dice, please.
Okay, 2 challenge dice. Here it comes. Okay, I'm rolling. I got 2 in the number next to challenge dice.
Yep. Okay, so that's 2 points of resistance. Your armor will grant you an additional 1 point, but those effects, because the pistol is supposed to have piercing, I think that's going to ignore it. He's going to take several shots in your direction as you roll behind the box. One of them is going to just blow completely through both ends and glance between the shoulder and chest pieces on your armor, causing it to fragment a fair bit. You are going to feel the slug go into your shoulder, and it is going to hurt quite a bit. You're not injured enough to take an injury, which is good because that would have been lethal, but you do take 3 points of stress.
That's what I figured, 3 points of stress. So I don't need to activate avoid injury yet then. Okay.
Not yet. That's
okay. I'll shoot back at him. We're going to play duel.
Well,
that's what it sounds
right now
like.
everybody else still has to act, so let's...
No, I know.
Yep. Let's go on down the line. Saral, or actually no, Lambeth, you first. What would you be aiming to do right now?
Not sure. Sorry.
It's okay if you want to pass for a moment. Saral, anything that you want to do while you still have the element of surprise here?
Getaway?
That's as good an idea as any. Give me fitness
Getaway.
and security to run away.
I mean, I could try nerve pinching someone, but I feel this is a firefight and I brought my hands, so...
Yeah, you probably don't want to draw attention back to another Vulcan, which is where...
No.
Yep.
What did you say? Fitness?
Fitness plus security with a difficulty of 2. And you make it.
That's wild.
It's improbable, but you do it all the same. That being said, yeah, you are able to start making a run for it. For their part, Sloan and Sloan, Natala, and maybe even Fen if he's not too high. Let me just get a roll here. Okay, Natala will be close behind. Patel, seeing the better side of wisdom, he's going to use to full advantage all of the mess that's going on down here, and like start waving and stuff. All right, everybody, let's get out of here while they're still distracted. Come on. And he's going to be a bit slower, but he'll start to disengage. Sloan, for her part, let me take one little fluff roll here. Okay, yeah, that's enough. She'll start to move, but then take one opportunity because she has a similar thought to you, Mora. Oh no, but she doesn't succeed at all. And her shot is going to go wide. Let's see here. With guys, would you like to just have threat come off of that one, or
Yeah, just get threat.
yeah, either be that or Kragan was going to take a shot at her the next time. That being said, as all of this goes on, the Calamies start trying to wrestle the Vulcans or just swarm atop of them. So they are going to, even though their numbers have dropped, they're going to just start brawling. It's going to break down into a disorganized brawl with the Vulcans. So that will be 2 for the swarm that they have, plus another, well, against the Vulcans here. Oh wait, that's control plus security. I'll re-roll that. Okay, their unit cohesion is just going to completely break down and give the Vulcans an opportunity to start like gaining an upper hand. Their training in Sussman, Sussman gives them the ability to evade and dodge, weave in all manners, and even inflict a few counterattacks. So the Vulcans will, I think they're going to elect to start shoving people, so they'll start downing people as opposed to going for the outright stun, thus momentarily incapacitating some of the squad. We go kind of back up to the top of the turn order. Captain, you and Selmar are presently wrestling over over his wrist, where his communicator lies. You're kind of grappled together at the moment. And you see that some of your crew is getting away.
Cool. I'm going to use my Mako training or some of my more experience and break his arm so I can take his thing before leaving.
All right.
I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna try to take the communicator and get the fuck out of here.
Okay. This is going to be daring plus security, with again a contested difficulty. You need to score at least 1, but you also need to beat whatever the commander rolls.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my determination. Use the value Kirk made famous for it, but I lay the groundwork. As I let go and use a double-handed hammer to across his shoulder.
Gotcha.
Double-handed karate chop.
All right. Give me. I will accept that for the determination. Are you going for the automatic critical success, or are you? Okay. So
then here we go. Wow. Okay, so I'm still wrestling with him apparently.
And he actually scored 2 successes on you. But you
Yeah.
you use a determination for the auto crit?
Yes.
Okay, so you do actually match him then.
Yeah.
Which does mean that you can still score the injury and you like have the initiative on that.
Sure. Okay. So it's just one, or just whatever the thing is. Yeah.
Just roll your damage dice. Oh dear, that is 6 points of damage, including 6 points of damage there. So you are going to inflict an injury on him. You break his arm and you're able to roll off the wrist communicator. His bone
Yep.
gives way with a sickening crunch as you wheel his arm kind of against a box and then bring your arms together for a swift double fist chop type thing that are with your hands clasped together. Shows up a lot in DS9 too, now that I think about it.
Yeah. It shows up in a lot of TNG era and TOS era, first half era Star Trek.
Yeah. That's the thing that Strange New Worlds really needs to do now. They have to have a double fisted chop at this point.
Yeah, over exaggerated fist fighting. Yeah, they do.
Yep. But yes, you bring.
It's been amazing so far. Absolutely amazing.
You bring down the double fisted chop. There's a sickening crack to his arm as he stiffens in about as much of a display as you would expect him to show of pain. And yeah, you quickly disengage. And manage to get to the.
I am running to my rest of my team that people are struggling to get out, just so I can grab them, including Moron, and say, and it's free action. I'll say, forget Kraken, let's get out of here.
Okay. Copy.
All right. As you get over to Mora, who's still has taken the fresh shoulder wound, but I imagine has already pressed her hand to it in order to keep from bleeding too much. While you're in cover, Kragan is going to start taking yet more shots in your direction. Let's call that control plus security again. That is going to be another hit, and I expect.
Do I get any Do I get a pre-action before that? Because he's I can utilize cover more effectively, stronger cover.
Do you have a talent for that, or?
No, not really.
Yeah, unfortunately, there isn't much that you can do in this circumstance.
Oh, real quick, veteran. No. Damn. All right, continue. Sorry.
Yep. So you'll have to wait until he goes again here in order to do anything about this. But yes, Kragan is going to hit. You may once again roll the 2 challenge dice for the box there. And I'm going to make sure that the... Nope, I rolled the pistol again instead of properly landing the hit. Roll the 2 challenge dice in that box, please, Brian.
Yep.
Okay, you roll 3 points of resistance after that.
Hold on. Well, yeah, I did. It was 2 dice, so I should have done it right.
Yes, it did. It worked properly there. You rolled a 2 and a 1 was the point. Between that and your armor, that is a total of 4 points of resistance. The pistol only did 2 points of damage, which could pierce 2 of those points of resistance. So that one actually does get stopped. I think it still manages to blow through the box, but it loses enough momentum, it actually grazes whatever component is there and dents into your chest. You can feel the slight thud and pang against it, but it actually did its job this time as it hit near center of mass and just lost sufficient momentum that it actually did manage to deflect it. Weird angles and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. With that said, turn order goes back to you guys. Most have disengaged. I think at this point it is Mora, Lambeth, and of course, the captain who still need to get out of here, along with the NPCs. Doctor,
Is it my turn or?
if you
Oh,
want,
okay.
if you want, I was going to ask whether it was you or the doctor who wanted to take a
Let
turn
the
first.
doctor go first.
Yeah, all right.
Just go. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically just get out of here.
So, I'll
Um,
tell you what. I can simplify this a little bit if we want to. If one of you wants to assist, and maybe the captain gives just an order to say, everybody run.
Yeah.
I would let you
yeah, we
both.
can do that. I guess. Yeah, I guess what Lambeth would also be doing is looking for stragglers while he's running.
Yeah. I'd say at this point the Calamies and the Vulcans are so engrossed. Anyone who isn't stunned or down already are just grappling and it's a fist fight basically, except for
Yeah.
Kragan who's shooting his pistol off like a madman. So, tell you what, I'll let you roll control plus security. If you want, we could say that you are helping Mora out of the chamber since you've noticed she's been shot. And,
Yeah, that's probably the thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's call that a fitness.
Control security.
We'll call that fitness plus security actually.
Fitness security. Okay. Does emergency medicine count as a focus for helping someone who's injured?
Only if you hypo them along the way. Which you can just say you did.
hypo them along the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I was even going to suggest that. So.
Yep.
I'll go
I'm
with
willing
that
to
then.
let you substitute medicine in if you want.
Well, I've gone rolled security now.
Let's see if that would have been better with medicine.
I
That
would have
actually...
got one success on medicine.
Yep. I'll just retroactively say that. Kind GM today.
Okay.
Mora, go ahead and give me a fitness plus security in order to help escape, and this will just be a single roll here. The doctor's helping you get out.
Got it. Fitness and security, right?
Yep.
And security, straight up roll.
Okay, I'd say that's rolled more dice than needed, but that's still enough there. That does give you a second success, so say that the...
Oh, is it only a 1D? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So the two of you begin to scramble away. Sloane is just going to... She's going to, basically do a couple, tuck and roll situations, get behind the box, and then quickly get back to her feet and sprint on past. Fen, for his part, will also disengage and start getting away. As Sharp, as you peek over the box, you see Selmar is looking at you with, I would say that distaste is what his emotions would convey. There's probably something stronger beneath that. But also, amidst that, and far less composed, Kragan is rounding the corner. You Vulcans have broken everything I'm working to strive here. I will not tolerate your disorder or your interference. And he's just firing off wildly, bullets harmlessly
Right
whizzing
on.
by.
As a parting shot, as we're leaving, I'll say "Hey" to Kragan and Commander Selmar, and then I'll raise up the tricorder that I had my thumb on the entire time, even while fighting, and I say "Oops" and let go of it.
Jeez, I'm going to have to. I think I'm going to.
I'm bringing down the floor. Well, as I'm leaving, away from from where the floor might collapse, if it collapses.
Okay. 1D100. Let's see how that goes. Tell me, Panda,
1D100.
high or low for the full effect?
Hi.
There will be a roar of bursts of light and compressed air that kind of knock around the people in the sections over here. Everyone will be jostled about, and let's do a single challenge die here. Everybody gets knocked prone as you bolt away. And so you manage to walk away a burst of light tailing you. It's like running away from the explosion. And
Yeah.
if I wanted to spend the threat, I'd also say that a boulder starts rolling down and chasing all of you. I think that's a little too on the nose.
Nah, a little too on those.
Yeah.
As I run ahead and try to catch up with the group, I'm going to lightly toss the communicator over to Sorrel. Sorrel, if you can work on breaking that while we get to the shuttles. We're heading to the hangar bay, guys.
Okay, well,
Did people hear me? Hello?
So we're stealing a Vulcan shuttle?
Yep. We're still not done here, but we're going to take 2 shuttles. Sorrel, take one, head over to your shuttle, grab it. I'm gonna take one and finish off, or at least try to complete some of the task that I was given.
All right.
As we depart one explosive situation here, we have to weigh the potential for another. As the crew of as the away team try to bolt for the shuttles, the away team is now waiting as a Vulcan cruiser has returned to orbit over the nearby moon. Let's see. The Koteth is attempting to run a trace. They're doing so. I think this is actually up to a difficulty 5, given the state of both the rings and the general ambience of the Fomalhaut's radiation and system debris and all of that. They do not succeed. They only vaguely have the inclination that you are presently in orbit. So at the moment there is little that they can do, and there's otherwise little that you have on your plate at the moment. But we still cut into the bridge, where Shira, you, Romanov, Crichton, and other lower-ranking officers, some of them the secondary officers, basically supporting characters, have nestled in, steadily releasing bits of warp plasma to create additional discharge in the rings and try to throw off the Vulcans. Thus far, to success. Lieutenant, I do have a question for you.
Sure, what is it?
We are relatively blind in this situation, and I'm sure that Stewart might be able to cut through some of this interference on our own, but, I guess standing order question would be, when would be the best time for us to act, sir?
That is a very good question. That depends on us finding out what's currently going on.
If you like, sir, I can attempt to run communications here and, see if the Koteth is speaking with anyone. It will be difficult for me as well with the interference, but I can give it a try, sir.
Yeah, sure. Give it a go.
Oh my god, this is gonna be funny.
Alright, so let's see. Crichton, he's going to roll Insight and Engineering. If somebody could get the ship's communications plus...
I'll do it.
We got it.
Let's call it communications plus security.
Communications plus security. Hey,
they can listen to classical music.
Why, sir, I think I've picked up a radio station. Oh boy, it's Jimi
From
Hendrix.
from the planet?
Yes, sir. There was an introduction from a language I don't understand, and then there was getting the same broadcast of the earlier from from Drone's earlier Redeem, uh, the radio Fomalhaut nonsense.
Yeah.
But then Crane says, "Yes, I can confirm, sir. It is something something from Earth's classical rock and roll area or era.
Ah, okay.
I didn't know there were humans out here."
We're the humans out here.
Oh,
Well, this ship is the humans out here.
Test the alien to the other alien.
I mean,
Crichton's not an alien.
I'm,
Sounds like one.
We're all
Well,
aliens to her.
Yes, you're all weird aliens. But no, this ship is the only source of humans out here. If that's coming from the planet, then that's our away team doing something.
yes, sir.
Problem.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know they'd carried it. I guess I don't know. I'm going to have to see whoever brought the music along.
I'm guessing it's the
Oh
captain.
no. Oh no. Is it not actually music, but the captain just singing all the songs from memory? Is that
No,
what happened?
it is absolutely the music. Come on. Yeah. No. It's not freaking her poor
It's
covers.
just 2 hours of karaoke.
Yeah.
It appears to be broadcasting on a subspace carrier wave that the Vulcans typically use. Dear, it seems like it's drowning out all other communications between them and the cruiser at the moment.
Interesting. They must have done it to disrupt. Must have done it to disrupt the Kotev's comms.
It does at least mean that they won't have an idea of what's going on.
The Vulcans should know, therefore, that there are now humans on the surface.
Well, I guess at the very least, sir, they only know that we have supplied them with musical. Well, we've supplied them with music. Hopefully, that's the only thing. Oh boy! I found some Led Zeppelin, sir.
Oh dear. Okay.
You'd have an idea of what that is because of your interactions with your favorite engineer.
Also, people can probably hear it through freaking the captain's quarters every once in a while.
Yep. And
True.
Crichton has inadvertently raised the volume too much, so all of you get a hint of Kashmir buzzing through his earpiece. He's starting to bang his head a little bit. Love this song.
Just checking. This wouldn't be a weird way of the captain trying to send some kind of message to us. I guess it's on Vulcan frequency, so no.
Well, unless they're taking the meaning from this one particular line, sir, all will be revealed.
No.
She is both a traveler of time and space, as we all do.
This is very confusing. I much prefer electro-synth, but all the ancient human rock music. Okay, and it was played using rocks.
No, it's just a
No?
term applied to
Just-
it.
Just so there were no bread rolls involved.
Here,
No.
let me help you out with this. And Crichton is going. Crichton will press a few buttons, and much as the volume is too loud in his earpiece, so it shall be on the bridge speakers, and indeed throughout the whole ship, as the combined violins, guitars, and like bass and drum beat all work in perfect synthesis for that for a grandiose, sweeping rendition of the song.
But that's a noise.
And
That's the noise.
Yep. Oh, I can see that definitely annoying the Vulcans.
Probably a signal.
Yep.
It's probably a signal if the captain is flooding this in Vulcan channels. I don't think she'd make herself that obvious. Especially with the whole subtext earlier about it being, discreet.
It's not
Maybe.
flooding our communications channel. Definitely just only the Vulcans, right, Crichton?
Oh, not at all, sir. It's only the Vulcan transmitter coming from the surface, which apparently they have a transmitter on the surface. I guess it would make sense if they had a base there, or it'd be a reason for them to send people down.
Would we be able to drop a communications buoy and relay any communications off that? So we don't entirely give away our position.
Oh, difficult but possible. It would take time to rig that up, though, sir. They're not exactly meant for movement, shall we say.
We could probably just bounce it off a probe. Just add a extended range module or modification to a probe really quickly.
Yeah, we
Or
could.
Deep space probe.
You want me to do that?
I could probably help out working to get through the interference, or at least boost the signal enough.
You do that, I'll do the programming. What do you want for a roll?
If you want
Well,
to roll...
is this possible?
It would be possible to rig a probe to help carry that signal. I'm going to say this would be probably a control engineering. Daring might be more apt since we're doing it faster. And
I figured this is daring and engineering, right?
yep, that would apply.
And I'll assist in daring and science.
That would work.
And I'm going to activate my value. Do we want to hit hard on this?
I mean,
I could activate my value.
we're at Act 3 or Act 4.
Okay.
What you like?
I'm activating Revenge is a dish best served cold, which I think is highly appropriate for this. Daring and engineering. And let's see. I will use cautious engineering in case there's any problems. You ready?
Stellar atmospheric science.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay, here comes my roll.
Hey.
With 2 successes.
2 successes.
Yep.
Not quite
And
enough
that
to succeed.
disadvantage.
And I have cautious. I have cautious engineering, which means I get to re-roll that complication, right?
But only if you
think
spend
that-
momentum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Would
I
you?
thought it was.
I will tell you what. I will let you succeed at a cost here.
Well, I have 3 successes, so it's just because I've got 2 from my.
Right. Yeah, from the determination spent. My apologies. So you have 3 successes altogether. 4 with sharp, which will grant you back 1 point of momentum. Would you prefer to accept the complication or give the GM threat?
What do you guys want to do? Call it.
I'm happy to accept the complication.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's the complication.
Okay, we accept the complication.
Make life more complicated for ourselves. Why not?
All right. You rush this probe together as quickly as you can with, let's see, Romanov and Steward running down to the. You get to the turbolift, sprint down to the nearest bay where you can launch the probes from, and immediately get that rigged up to launch. You are confident that you can have it ready to go, and essentially it is whenever you want to deploy the buoy, you may simply declare it.
You get to call it. Call the shot.
Yes, go ahead and deploy.
Okay, deploy it.
Right. the probe launches outside it, launches from the Aegis, and the propulsion system kicks online. It manages to clear about 400 meters from the ship when the booster on it just explodes, and
It's an
the
issue.
entire probe goes up.
Crichton, what are the odds that the Vulcans have just detected that? Steward as well. Something just exploded.
Coin toss, sir?
Coin toss. Let's begin changing our position.
Sir, the
Quite
Vulcan
quickly,
cruiser is changing
Conley.
its position. It's on an intercept course.
Only change our position.
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice. And Connolly begins firing up the thrusters to maneuver you through the rings. Are you wanting him to nestle in deeper or try to gain relative freedom in between the planets or something, or the moon and the planet?
I want deeper at this at this
Yeah.
point. Because getting freedom, they're quicker than us. They can shoot better than us.
They're pretty beaten up, though.
They're beaten up, yeah, but they still outgun us. It was all their engines that got smacked. It wasn't really their weapons.
All right. Connolly is going to attempt to place more of the debris between you and them so as to provide resistance here. I'm going to say that, let's see. He's going to attempt a daring plus con roll to maneuver the ship into a better position. Would you guys give him permission to give me threat for bold?
Yes.
Okay. So spend. Oh, let's see. He gets 4 successes, and somebody could roll the ship's engines and con, please.
Yep. Okay. Engines and con. Nope.
I'm going to say with that, he's created effectively 4 points of threat, or well, rather 4 points of resistance that will go in as he nestles you right into the nearest bits of debris that can help shield you from the Vulcans, and that is good because they are taking that opportunity. While you realize they probably don't have an easy lock on you, they have a good sense of where you are, which will inspire.
We do have the advantage currently of, they think that this place is highly active to weapons fire from last session.
That is true. Let me do a fluff roll just to see whether they're going to. They're not thinking too hard about that in terms of the cost, however. So I think tell you what. This next roll will come with, I will say, any damage that comes from this will be halved because they're going at least more in part for an advantage here. They still need a bit more to succeed. Okay, not quite. So the torpedo, there are going to be, the ship is going to start rattling as, waves of, basically, there's a few moments of silence where the sensors do not have a line of sight on the ship, and the interference from the rings is causing issues. The deck plating begins to rumble a bit as Connolly tries to adjust his heading a little bit. That was a wave from an antimatter system. They're actually they're shelling this place with torpedoes. Or I think they're trying to use it like a depth charge, sir.
Depth charge. Never mind. I'll find out what that is later.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. So, how close were they?
They were still off by about. The nearest blasts were off by about 400 kilometers. But they're firing at a sufficiently high yield to where that they're creating dispersive waves that might give them a better opportunity to hit us as they fire them, or at least give us a track. I think they're honestly they might have been expecting that the discharge is how it indicated the reactivity in the rings. They might have been counting on that to help flush us out, but it wasn't quite as bad as what they were expecting. So, uh, on one hand, we weren't driven out by those torpedoes, or they didn't cause enough damage in the rings to make it untenable for us to stay. But now the Vulcans have a better idea of what they need to do to hit us.
Okay. Do not like sitting here doing nothing. Okay, we've got torpedoes right here somewhere.
Yep, the basic spatial torpedoes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm going to drop some of the torpedoes. Basically, what I want to do is have the torpedoes kind of just slowly float out of the Aegis, and then go on a rather circuitous route before leaving the rings and attacking the Vulcan ship.
Basically, are you looking for the propulsive, or like something that would give off a propulsion system and act as a decoy? Or are you leaving like a
shoot?
Because we can't. Okay.
I'm happy to shoot back.
Before we do that, currently they are just trying to basically float us out. That's through depth charges, which they're indirectly firing. They're not directly firing. So they are playing through their teeth, but so are we. So are you saying that you want to just now pull the trigger finally, or still want to play through the Cold War tactics that we have been?
Okay. Oh, damn it. Good point. They haven't quite done any damage to us, have they?
Yeah, they're not actively shooting at you. They are.
They are
if
actively
anything,
shooting.
well, I mean, like they think there's an anonymous threat. They can easily pose it as that.
Yeah, if there was an anonymous threat, they just shoot us. Oh, god damn it.
I will say, for our purposes, Romanov and what's her face, Stewart, make it back to the bridge in this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Think.
Perhaps we can use the torpedoes are not a bad idea, but perhaps we can use them as sort of fake debris explosion. Just we feel like we make it look like we've sunk already.
Yes. Try to
We can
look
use
like we've been.
Use some more cargo, leftover caltrops.
Make it look like that we have been hit and destroyed. Yes. Okay. Let's try that. Let's get them to leave us. We can play dead.
All right. Romanov, this is going to be you here in a moment, because it's going to be venting cargo once the next wave of torpedoes come.
Okay, and hopefully we have some momentum, because I'm going to need it.
We got one momentum.
All right. So.
Yep.
Yay.
Let's see.
Okay, what do you want? What kind of roll?
In a moment here, the Vulcans are going to take another shot, and I'm going to roll this.
We can use that. We can use that as an intercept, more like intercept and a detonation to make it look like it.
Yeah. So they're going to try and take their shot, and as the next wave of torpedoes comes in, with 5 successes, that is going to be enough to cause you some damage there. Although this time they are firing it. The way it is, only 1 torpedo's worth of damage would be done. and you still have resistance to protect you. But this is going to be a daring plus engineering roll, assisted by the ship's engineering plus structure. As you
Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 momentum on this. I've already spent my value, so I don't have anything on that. Okay, can I use electroplasma power systems or weapons engineering as a focus?
Oh,
I think weapons engineering would apply.
oh,
Give me
loosely.
some love, Zach. Give me some love.
I'll loosely apply the. Honestly, the EPS system might make a little more sense just because you are.
That's fine. I'm just shooting.
Can
there.
Shira assist by dropping one of the torpedoes and having that explode to make it look like there's secondary explosions happening from the hit?
Yeah, fire on the same spot that I do and detonate there. That would work, assuming our GM allows.
I'll allow that assist plus the ship assisting as well. And very quickly, going to run the torpedoes just to see what that does.
Oh.
2, 4, 5 points of damage. You have 4 challenge dice worth of cover. I'm going to go ahead and roll that to see what that gives you.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, thankfully that is going to take the bulk of the energy blast, but that is going to... the torpedoes... the nearest torpedo is going to hit one of the objects in the debris cloud that is shielding you, so it will collide. A great antimatter explosion will blow a huge chunk out of it and start disrupting its orbit.
Do you want my task roll? I've been waiting. Do you want the task roll?
Go right ahead.
Yeah. Here it comes.
All right, 3 successes.
Engineering and structure from the ship.
Yep. Thank you.
And
4.
what was Shira rolling?
Call this control plus security.
Control plus security.
Yep.
Task roll 1. Shipboard tactical systems, I guess, applies a focus?
Yep. Also, there has been a spend from our same Overland gamer friend. The difficulty on this roll has been decreased by 1. I was going to say that, well, frankly, I was going to set this up to a difficulty 4, which you were already meeting. This is now difficulty 3, so you gain back, looks like, 1 point of momentum from that.
Yay.
And I'm going to go so far as to say, as now you have once again increased the difficulty on any sensor task. So as you frantically set things up, trying to time it for the nearest torpedo blast, and as you as that energy wave takes hold and you begin to feel the ship tremble or like shake more significantly from the waves, let's see, Romanov, you fire off like all the different compartments that you are venting, dispatching dispatching some of the loose cargo, residual caltrops that you had loaded in, and a few of the torpedoes, just emptying the launch tubes. And all the while, Connolly gently kicks in the thrusters to put you a little further along. Once you are certain that there's enough of a dispersal pattern, Shira, you time some of the torpedoes to approximate secondary explosions. There's a moment's pause as you wait for something to happen from the Koteth. Sir, they are in... I believe we're getting signs of a sensor beam. Oop. That wasn't supposed to roll that one twice. It was supposed to be the ship. Let me try that again properly. And I'm going to take the first roll there. While it technically had more successes, it was not enough to clear. Plus, it creates a complication. I don't believe they've picked us up, sir. They're actually moving off back towards the planet.
Okay, they think they may have taken care of us. Okay. Just checking the damage that was actually done. That only took like 1 point off shields or polarized hull plating.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good.
Yep.
Okay. That's
Hull
not bad.
plating is still holding, I believe, at I think it's at 90% or possibly 87%. I don't remember whether it's 10 or 11 points on the hull plating. Ah, yes, 10 points. So it's actually you still have your own ship's resistance on this, so that would, I think, prevent you from having taken anything. It definitely
Ooh.
rattled you, but the ship has 3 resistance of its own.
Good. Excellent.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Good work, everyone.
We survived another round.
Next time we'll have the element of surprise.
Let's hope so. And that they survive as well. As Creighton resumes listening into his earpiece. Amidst the... I'll tell you what here. Would you... Well, I think we have enough time to get you guys through the hangar here, so let's go ahead and get that set up here. Very particularly, the 8 of you, including a very strung out Tenkayet Fen, are making your way through the labyrinth mazes. Patel has been referring back to the map that he'd built. It's like, I think that we're just effectively a couple blocks from this hangar here, and well, I don't know what to make of all the chatter at the moment. My translator's having some issues here, Captain, but I think that it sounds like the Calamese are. There's a lot going on here, he says, gesturing to his wrist communicator.
Explain.
As you listen in,
Don't let me stop you.
As you listen in for yourself, Captain, you hear that there are calls of it sounds like there are calls of request for reinforcements on all of the lower levels as the sudden, not long after your broadcast, it sounds like the people that the Calamese
Revolted.
keep in tow are in
shit.
general sort of revolt.
She just smiles. Gives a faltering smile that's slowly growing. I really hope the best for them. All right, let's make use of this.
So,
She'll just look over and say, Saral, you take Patel, Natala, Fen. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll take take as much as you can. Anyone else who wants to go and share this revolt has a little better can come with me. Mora, I need you on the other ship as well.
Okay.
Just in case of weapons.
Patel says, Captain, you're not thinking of sticking around here, are you?
No, just balancing the scales a little bit.
Well, I understand that. I don't want you to put yourself in undue risk here. We still have to get off, and we do have to think about the safe. I'm as much for dealing damage to this oppressive system as anyone, but we also do have to think of the Aegis crew here.
She nods. Give a more. Mora, give the Mako's cipher for the minute you can. Saral, can you use the communications? Can you go burst through our own communications or send additional a simple communique through Morse code or simple signal taps in the hopes that perhaps the Aegis is listening in?
I'm not familiar with Morse code. Can
All right.
send something.
Mora is. Mora should be.
But that would require the Aegis to listen in on Vulcan communications.
I'm hoping that they do. Hoping that they are at the very least. And the very least, we know where it is, and the Vulcan shell can hopefully get us within the asteroid field. That's if the if the ship, whatever they came from, is still up there. If not, then you can easily, I hope, that we have a little faith here and can get ourselves within the asteroid field. The last thing we need to do is be here, as certainly being on the ground is not beneficial to us in any capacity right now. Once we get signal to... Actually, she pauses. She'll open her communicator and see if it freaking works. Are we high enough yet? High enough elevation? Because we've been running for a while.
Not yet. You're still kind of in parts of the underground city. You are very close to the hangar now, but it's not quite getting through the cave system. Either that, or if it is, Aegis might just be out of range, which is a distinct possibility.
Use the shuttle, get into the asteroid field. Once we're there, we can we'll rendezvous, and we can figure out a step from there. But the last thing we need is be on here or anywhere within locating proximity to the Vulcans.
You approach a fairly large building that takes you in a different place, kind of deeper in the rock. One that would seem to have the one that Patel indicates will take you to the hangar. It is relatively quick work to get through, as the I'm just going to say that in the rush somebody has left the doors not properly secured.
Right.
Or the fact is you've sown so much chaos, soldiers being pulled every which way. Allows you.
We're still in the uniform of the Calamies too, so.
Yep. Soral is the only problem here in that sense, because and Faye
As
at this
always.
point. Two aliens standing very much out. But yes, as you enter the somewhat gritty but nonetheless very organized military building. The floors are fully metal plated. The corridors, although there are some bits of exposed rock, it's a bit skeletal in terms of how the supports are laid out, but there are every few paces there are some fully completed walls that indicate the base is actively being worked on. What resources are being put to work are definitely going towards the military here. It seems more so to apply as you, upon getting through the base, you hear the sounds of distant sort of thuds and bursts of energy. Making your way through a door that says it would take you to one of the landing pads, you find yourself in a chamber overlooking what appears to be a fairly sizable rectangular area. One that, if your sensors bear out properly, is on essentially a full-sized lift system, and you see that fire is being exchanged between Vulcan guards and Calamese soldiers.
Okay, so it's a huge square. Is this the hangar proper, or just right before the hangar?
This is basically in the hangar area. You notice that there
Yeah.
are a couple of Vulcan shuttles set up. There are also fairly primitive-looking interceptors of a sort.
All right. Hold your fire unless necessary. Let's get to the Vulcan shuttles.
So
We're gonna try to sneak over to the shuttles and just hijack them.
Can't be too difficult. Cough.
Yep. So coming down, there's a ramp over here that would give you actually a good flanking position if you so wished. That is, if you want to either sneak around or engage the Calamese. I'll say that there's a bit of fire exchange between the two groups here. So let's see just real quick what that does. Let's see. Roll for Calamese first as they exchange some shots. That'll be... So they'll score a hit first. generate a little bit of threat. Do they manage to do much? Probably not against that amount of, not with that amount of resistance, but we'll see. That's, what, 3 points?
Zach, really quickly, from these strike craft, do they look like one or two man ships, or like fighter craft, or look like gunships? What?
They look like they're somewhere between an interceptor and a gunship. They do have compartments that could hold additional people. It would be cramped seating, but it would be distinctly possible to use that. The operations, or like the pilot and such, seem to be 2 seats.
From what we saw of the parts, are these aero fighters, or they are just atmosphere fighters?
These are meant for like space-based operation. These
Okay.
are like, they're very much sublight fighters, but they could still they could break atmosphere. Also, I realized that I should actually have 2 more to it because it's a pistol there, or rather because it's a squad engaging them. That's so the Calamies. They're taking shots. They only have pistols because I guess they were more on a basic sort of guard duty, but they are not doing too terribly much to the Vulcans at the moment. The Vulcans, for their part, they're going to try and return fire. Let's see. But they are not having a whole terrible lot of success. For the complication, I'm just going to give you guys momentum here. Actually, as you guys are coming down, one of them will spot you, but they will see Saral in their midst, and they're going to try to hunch down and press a button. Any Vulcan personnel in my radius? Any Vulcan personnel, please respond. And Saral, that comes over the communicator you are presently fiddling with.
Who was pressing that again? Who was transmitting that again?
The transmission is coming.
Squad leader.
Yeah, it's a localized transmission from the Vulcan squad leader.
Captain?
Go ahead, Vulcan citizen, she says. She kind of looks over at the aero fighters. How quickly can I hop into one of those cockpits in the gunner seat?
You could probably get in fairly quickly if you wanted to.
Yeah, she'll just tap her ear, like if you can figure out a way, let her know. But she scrambles over to the nearest gunner seat as I try to figure out the controls really quickly.
Yeah, Saral, do you answer the communication?
Yeah, sure. Just like understanding you loud and clear.
I do not recognize your name, but logic dictates that at the moment we turn our attention to the more immediate threats. Are the Calamies escorting you presently hostile or friendly? You
They're
realize
currently unaware of the larger situation.
then we may be able to turn this to a tactical advantage, or at least perhaps deal with the rogue element. I'm uncertain as to what exactly happened, but the Calamies in this base have turned to engage us. I have not been able to make contact with Commander Selmar, and we are presently pinned down. If you would be able to convince your fellow, your escorts that they're acting outside of the interests of the indigenous leader, then perhaps we could use that to break away and make contact with the commander.
Where are they from our position?
So you are coming down the ramp on the left side of the screen, basically. and I imagine Sharp is like angling towards one of these fighters. You're coming in kind of behind a group of Calamies that are on the left here. Basically, the complication has come into effect where he thinks that because he made you out, Saral,
Yeah.
you might be a friendly force, and thus the Vulcans will not immediately oppose you. Nor do they
Yeah,
have
I'm
reason
trying to figure out how we can. And the captain has gone off to one of the fighters.
Yes, but
Yeah,
you are,
well, you can communicate to her. She has a subdermal earpiece and mic.
and you're all probably close enough together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not transmitting the captain. What do you want to do with these Vulcans?
I still have the Calamese military piece or communications, right?
You do. You still also have
Cool.
the Major's uniform, albeit with a painted helmet right now.
Yeah.
You could easily swap, though. The rank
Yeah.
insignia is not on your helmet.
Cool. I'll just I'll throw the helmet over. Take off the helmet, throw it over inside the gunship. I'll hand it over to Kara and just gesture for her take her helmet before putting it on, and I'll say through the communicator, "This is the Major of General Kragan. I order you all to stand down immediately. There has been a ceasefire, so given.
Oh.
The treacherous aliens have decided to leave and allow us our victory."
Give me a presence plus command roll, difficulty 1.
Presence and command, inspiration, diplomacy,
I think
gambling.
one of those. Definitely a gamble.
I'll use a momentum for cautious. And let's go.
5
boy.
successes. Yeah, the Calamies are just going to say, responding and pulling back. We're almost out of ammunition here anyway. We need to regroup. And when the Calamese soldiers see you, Major, we'll get, if you can relieve us here, then we will leave you to this position and make sure. Oh, you have one of those Vulcans here with you, right?
I am escorting my team are escorting these Vulcans to their ship, and we have given clear instruction from the general that we are to ensure that they leave.
Aye, sir. Glory to Kragan.
Glory to Kragan.
And the Calamese will immediately withdraw. And as you approach, the Vulcans seem like the Vulcans still have their weapons out, but they have them lowered at present. One of them steps forward. Your timing is fortuitous.
Indeed. So kind of like player. What's the?
I'm going
We have
to
to kind of get in their face and do something about them, right?
What? Sorry.
We kind of have to get in their Vulcan's face and do something about them, right? Because they will not just surrender the shuttles.
Certainly. Well, we can probably, out of character, we could probably do is say that the commander needs their assistance, and that you and the loyalist troops have protection duty of these shuttles.
Yeah, I mean, you can try.
And then we just take them.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Just march close. And like signal everyone else to like stand a bit back while I get closer to the commander of the Vulcans. And also lean a bit in so that it's like it's kind of indicating it's a private conversation. I don't want to be overheard, and say to him that I have commandeered these troops to guard the shuttles so that more competent personnel can help the commander. Logic dictates that your tactical advantage is better used elsewhere.
I do not disagree with that sentiment, but I am curious as to your involvement in this. You don't appear to be in standard high command uniform.
Well observed. However, my identity is classified.
Given the state of operations here, I must say that there are many things that where logic does not comport, but necessity does require us to act. I will leave 2 behind here in order to maintain and help guarantee your security and ensure that these Calamies do not act against you.
Very well.
He'll give you the customary salute. Peace and long life.
Peace and long life.
I expect neither soon, but we will see. And with that, 2/3 of the squad are going to leave. 2 Vulcan guards will remain behind. Oop. And the shuttles go too. No.
No, bye. Excellent. I just turned to our disguised guards and just say guards position. And hope that the captain and Moira will kind of at least get to one of the ones while I go to the other.
Yeah, for sure.
And I kind of hope that someone backs me up, but because Soral is like literally sweating bullets, it's like clink, clink, clink.
Moira, she'll signal. She'll with Mako click. She'll just signal for Moira to help out Soral, and hopefully Kara can help out with
Yes.
my person.
Yeah, and I just approach the one Vulk and say, as long as he doesn't have a particular rank soldier, what's the overall tactical situation? My long range communication has been impeded.
Situation is uncertain at present. The all of our communications appear to have been drowned out by what I can only describe as old Earth renditions of what they consider music. We suspect that Starfleet or some other faction is involved here. Very likely that our vessel at last message was escorting them out of the system. With if needed, they were prepared to incapacitate them. If you would like to roll as he is giving off this explanation, Soral, then you may go right ahead.
Yeah. I was going to kind of while he's like focused on me, hoping that Moira gets in some kind of supporting or attack position, and then I try to just nerf pinch him.
Okay. Daring plus security for any of you that want to act. I will ask, let's see, one of the NPCs can do this. Ben, would you like to volunteer a sedative against maybe Sharp's Vulcan?
Yeah, can do.
Okay.
Cool. By the way, how many momentum do we get from my fire?
Right. You get 4 points of momentum. I'll deal that out to you real quick. It's daring plus security for anyone that's going for a grapple, daring plus medicine for Lambeth, and I guess for Sobral it could be presence plus
daring science.
Daring and science would actually work.
I think, is it?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going for the nerve pinch, definitely. If you're just...
Yeah.
So, pick who wants to lead in your pairs. Soral, you can either lead, or you can let Moira take the lead. Sharp, Lambeth, take the
Yeah, I'll make a roll. I'll make a roll. Lambeth, you can assist me, and we'll
Yep.
just go.
And,
I'm gonna do
and
cautious, or not cautious. I'm gonna just do an extra momentum for an extra die.
Okay.
Close quarters combat.
Yep.
Oh,
One success and a complication. You can still buy that off with momentum if you wish.
I'm gonna bite off the momentum.
Lambeth, do you also want to roll there?
Yep. What do you want me to roll?
Daring plus medicine? Or you can
Okay.
do security if you prefer.
Medicine's better. Would it hand-to-hand combat focus count?
I'll allow it. Ooh.
Only the one die, my friend.
I'll
But-
take the. You know what? I'll be generous.
Oh,
I'll
sorry,
take the
the
2.
first one.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take the second one just to give you the best chance here. Yeah, that Vulcan kind of had your number sharp, and they were trying to. They were like trying to. Well, no, they weren't actually. You just completely overwhelmed them.
he thought he had your number, but he tried to block the wrong arm.
Yep. He missed this. He missed
Oh,
the
God.
hypo spray and just lost it all. As to the other, Saral, you and Mora
I'm
have
buying
a
a die with threat.
Okay.
I get no focus unless I can convince you for the troubleshooting focus, which I will never tire of.
Yeah, no such luck.
No, probably not. Oh god. I'm gonna reroll both of those zeros.
Are you tapping your determination?
Bold signs. No, bold signs.
Oh, bold signs, right. So I take a threat. Well, that's
2 successes.
Mora, you
Myra,
may...
help me.
Yep, you may also assist Mora.
Save me.
Mora.
Okay, I'm assisting, right? So just one
Yeah,
die
just
or
one
full
die.
roll?
Yeah, just one.
Okay. And one here. Okay.
Daring plus security.
Now I know that. I'm just trying to see if I have any focuses that apply.
Anything hand-to-hand combat oriented or melee, and you're all good.
Got internal security, squad tactics, shipboard
Squad tactics
tactical.
work.
Okay, great. Then I'll click yes and roll.
All right, that is enough. Really was enough for Saral, but yes. The operating in tandem, the two of you are effortlessly able to incapacitate the Vulcans. Saral, you get in the nerve pinch. Lambeth, you get in the syringe or the hypo, and they both fall unconscious, leaving you clear to take the shuttles. With that, Patel will close out his communicator and say, we should be able, the armament on these shuttles should be clear enough to get us through what limited stuff they have for the bay doors. It's not that strong here. It might even knock down some of the fighters too.
Great. I like to hear that. All right, team. She'll just grab one shuttle.
Yep. And so
I'll grab the other.
we're going to kind of do the go the quick way on this to describe what happens. As you filter into your respective shuttles, they both take off, and as artificial gravity kicks on, you're able to comfortably orient them to where the nose is pointed upward, and you would, if you felt gravity, you would feel it pulling you back. They rocket off and fire their particle weapons, allowing them to burst through the hangars. The shuttles both take to the sky over the sharp, jagged mountain ranges. One proceeds directly back to the valley, where they can ditch that, and Saral can reacquire his own shuttle. Sharp, you keep yours flying as an escort just in case anything goes up. You do indeed have...
I did want to pause before I take off, and just roll my shuttle inside the cargo or into the hangar to just gun down the landed arrow fighters before leaving.
I gotcha. We'll say that's part of your delay then, as you
Yeah.
fire back and leave the hangar bay aflame with exploding ordnance and fuel. And that
Did you put the Vulcan soldiers somewhere else, or did you just blow them up?
Nope,
with
they're
the,
dead.
The shuttles.
They're dead.
Yep.
Okay.
Unless you took them with you on the shuttles, in which case you have a couple high command prisoners.
I'd rather not deal with it. That's a tough choice.
We'll
Up to you.
resolve it later. I think that
Yeah.
your Starfleet, you took them prisoner. They're in the back.
Yeah.
You
that's
can leave
fair.
them in Soral's shuttle, so when they come to, they'll at least be able to get to a shuttle. But
Yeah.
yes, as Soral reacquires his shuttle and both of yours head up, you do find yourself having to bob and weave as gun emplacements around the mountain start opening up. Primitive flak cannons, a la World War II style weaponry, just create massive waves of bursting metal in front of you. But the shields are effortlessly able to glance them off.
And I clipped them as an escort on the way back, or
Yeah.
as every time they shoot up the leading shuttle.
Yep. You continue to rise and eventually escape even their range, breaching atmosphere and making your way towards freedom. Or so you think. For as orbit breaks, or rather as the sky returns back to the array of colors and vague sights of debris in the distance, one object is very quickly gaining a very close range, like it is growing on your collective view screens, and you know that you are now dealing with a Surok class cruiser. The exact painting of the threat now firmly visible to you. And for those in our audience, let's bring that up here. So the Aegis is not in the screen at the moment. That would look more like, stand by here.
Vulcan communications are more sturdier and more, well, just better than Starfleet, right?
Right.
Cool. I'm going to send a signal
Let's
into the asteroid belt. I can.
Sorry, just to not meaning to nix anything, but basically, the image that is rapidly growing on your screens is this great cruiser heading out, mounted directly ahead of you, and indeed beginning to move in closer as we speak. And I think that is where we are going to cut today's session.
No.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Well,
All right.
This is where we cut off. I'm going to do one last hydrate here. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. And I actually think that this will be the last part of the Marauders of the Distant Moon, since we are off the moon proper. So, yeah, congrats. We will be coming back in 2 weeks now for the next game. For those in the archive, obviously, it'll be a little while to see, but join us on September 9th when we come back live. If you're all caught up, we'll be on twitch.tv/GM in the Great Barrier, and we will be broadcasting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. GMT. Until then, you have a good day.